Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.
The nation must acquire land. Production of food, clothing, and shelter. Freedom is independent agriculture. Farming is the engine of the nation.
Greetings, this is Patrick Muhammad with the Engine of the Nation report on National Net Review. The cattle industry, like everyone else, is more than ready to move past 2020 and into the new year. While the industry will start the year with a new slate, there are numerous factors in place that will shape markets for at least the first few months of 2021. Cattle markets face a mix of opportunities and challenges as the new year begins. Strong beef demand and tightening cattle supplies provide cautious optimism for cattle markets in 2021. To go deeper into this conversation, we brought back a friend of Engine of the Nation, Wayne Swanson. Kip, how are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, sir. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I can't complain. It's an honor to have you on our show again. You know, you're one of our regular guests and our favorites, so thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to come with us today.
I'm just happy to be in the number, man. Patrick calls, I answer.
Yes, sir. Before we go into, just in case this is their first interview, they didn't catch the first one with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Swanson Family Farm. Okay.
Wayne Swanson. My friends call me Chip. Born and raised in New Jersey. Ancestral family in Albany and Leary, Georgia. So I always wanted to come back to Georgia. We come every summer. My father is from a farming community in New Jersey called Glassboro, New Jersey. My mother is from Camden, New Jersey. She's from the city. I had all aspects of America. I grew up in the city, I grew up in the suburbs, and I would be on the farm at my grandparents. When I moved to Atlanta to go to Morris Brown College, I always wanted a bigger yard so I could have a garden and so I could have multiple dogs, and I knew I was going to have rabbits or chickens or something. And one thing led to another. It's a domino effect. And one day I have a 30-acre farm with cows on it. That I started selling the meat kind of as a hustle, side hustle for my employment. And then one day I realized I was making as much money selling meat as I was at my job. So as the demands grew, I wanted to go on my own. So I quit and went out on my own. Got chin checked a couple times doing it and learned the hard way. And I tell people I went broke and I had to see a marriage counselor, all because of farming. But now we're in a much better place. We're not broke and I don't need a counselor. so we're doing okay.
That's called a victory there, sir. That's called a victory.
That's a victory, brother. That's a victory.
Yes. Well, bringing you back this particular time for this show, we want to talk about farming to scale.
Yes, sir.
Because as I know, you have gone from, as you mentioned, just growing in the subdivision in the backyard to the front yard to your own farm. And now what you're going to share with our audience is taking it to a whole different level. So as we work into talking about farming to scale, let's talk about a little bit that I don't think people know about Wayne Swanson and your astuteness as it relates to livestock. So tell me about starting with the diet and how intentional you are with the diet of your livestock.
Okay. Well, so we even go back. Let's take it back a step further back. I believe that God doesn't make mistakes. So if before we got involved with these animals, they were eating from the land and didn't need a veterinarian, didn't need medicine, didn't need care, I want to have those types of animals. I'm not so arrogant that I think that I can improve on God's plan. You can. So I look for animals and for stock that I don't have to really tend to. And if you think about the old timers, they didn't have to do all this stuff with their livestock. Their livestock came ready packaged to go. So if I go to your place to buy stock, or if I'm buying breeding stock or a breeding ram, I'm gonna look around and see what you're doing. And if I see you are overly heavy on the feed, I'm gonna ask some questions. If I see that you're medicating, I'm probably not gonna buy stuff from you. And those are the things I look for. And this is the point I want the audience to get. There are no elevators or escalators in farming. I can tell you everything I do. You can't do it until you take one foot, put it in front of the other, and take a step. Then take the next step.
Wayne,
and take the next
oh my
step.
goodness. Please, please say that one more time, because
Okay.
I know that now. But again, explain to them just one more time when you said the elevator and escalator in the farm. Just give that to them one more time.
There is no zero. There is no elevator or escalator in farming. You have to take it one step at a time. I can give you all the answers, and a lot of what I do is to try to help you avoid pitfalls. But just because you avoided my pitfall doesn't mean that there isn't a specifically designed pitfall for your property or for your animals. So you're going to have pitfalls. I can give you the best stock, the best advice, the best connections. There's still going to be an area of improvement, and there's going to be a setback. How you handle setbacks is totally in your character, but there's no easy way. Like everybody thinks, oh, I can do what you do. I get that call every day. I can do what you do. No, you can't.
No,
Not yet.
And your personality and my personality been open and, always giving. And people have come around us and seen how we interact with the animals in their mind with ease.
Yes.
But it's the 3 o'clock in the mornings. It's the learning how to move around the animals that they miss, and they think the elevator can take them from an ad that says land is available to I'm farming next week. And
what they miss,
because I'm a big. Go ahead.
I was going to say is what they miss is if you have not had the pleasure of watching Brother Patrick on his farm lead a seminar with his hand on the bridle of a horse, having conversation and engaging the group, but do like this little tilt of his head because he heard a whinny that's not a normal whinny of one of his, or a neigh from a horse 30 yards away or a couple acres away, and you don't register the change in Patrick. You're not reading Patrick's body, because Patrick is in tune with every sound, with every noise, with the way twigs break on his property, with the way an animal sounds rushing through the woods, and with the way an animal sounds walking leisurely through the woods. And until you reach those points that you respect it enough that you can be that in tune, you'll never find success. So I don't call you a student, but as a partner, when I go to watch or go in and spend time with my partners, I'm still looking to see if they're improving the skill set, because I'm only going to get as far as my partners are good. Absolutely. So in this, if you can't read animals, this may not be the job for you. You won't have the success, because if you can't read animals, you're not going to be able to let them free range like we do. Because you don't understand when an animal has a pebble between its toes, or when it really has an issue. So no easy way to do this. And I don't want to give people false hope. There's money to be made. But I don't want to give you false hope of thinking, yeah, just go run, get you a couple cows, because the guy can smell the green on you, and he got a cow to try to run his kids over. So guess what cow you're going to get a deal for?
Absolutely.
And ask us how we know that.
A deal of a lifetime. Yes.
Ask us how we know that.
Do you remember one time we went, and I'm going to go to the next question. We went to purchase some sheep, and we were stepping over needles trying to look at the sheep.
And what happened when we got home, Pat? Tell everybody what happened
Yeah,
at both our places.
I don't know if I didn't make it 24 hours.
One of the daggone sheep died. I'm standing in front of the sheep. I'm talking to my wife, and my wife said, that sheep fell over, it's dead. And I said, ha ha, very funny. Why would you even say that about my sheep? And she said,
Right.
no, babe, the sheep is dead.
Yes.
It's gone. It
Yeah.
died
So
right there.
it died. So again, so that intentionality that we have, can you go into what rotational grazing is and why?
Sure. Okay. So you're touching a little bit on profits. So your profits are based on the amount, just like your house. The less you spend, the more that you'll keep in your pocket. So these animals are, I have a grass-based economy here. Yes, we do use feeds as supplements, but forage-based, like what you see those cows standing on, that is forage. And if you don't have green stuff on your property, you will not be profitable unless you have 1,000 acres and you can just jam pack as many animals as possible. You have to be a grass farmer. I am not a rancher. I'm not a shepherd. I raise grass. Grass and forage is the life's blood of my operation. Without it, there is no. I'm not on this show. I'm nobody with a guy with a mud pit in his backyard with a bunch of cows running around it. So rotational grazing is when you set up a checkerboard, and each square has its own pasture. We call those paddocks, and you move it based on your need and the needs of the animals. You move the animals either daily, weekly, or monthly to a different paddock. How you determine when to move is going to be based on your stocking density. And if you see me pause and say a word very clearly and lean in, write that word down. Stocking density. Everybody that calls me that talks about they want to farm, God put it on your heart, or your grandfather, nobody mentions stocking density. That is going to tell you how many animals you can keep on your property and feed with grass, with forage, before you need to add a supplement. So stocking density is important to a rotational grazing system.
Awesome. Now, in that same vein, because as you said, the pastures is where they consume their food, basically. Talk to me about that conversion rate and what you're looking for in that. So talk about the conversion rate.
So what we're looking for are animals who can convert grass to muscle, grass or hay to muscle. Anybody can feed the animals grain and you'll get fat, not necessarily muscle. But if you can find animals that can convert grass to muscle and you can breed those animals, then you'll have a profitable enterprise as long as you can keep your forage good. But yeah, anything like that, those cows that you see right there, that's a brood cow, and I just sold that baby. But they're all grass. Like those cows didn't eat feed. I had to make them learn how to eat feed because for years they never had feed. They still won't eat a piece of bread out my hand. And you got little nieces and nephews. You want to be able to have them feed stuff. No, doesn't work. So grass to muscle, grass to muscle. That's how in this way, this is how I make money and how our business stands out.
Okay, so right there in that, the next question I'm going to take you to, we're going to pause for just a second and have an advertisement here at NNV News. But before we go to the advertisement, I want to give you the question.
Yes,
then afterwards, you're going to give the answer. The next question I want you to think about is, what is the difference in culling and then determining what is processable, if that's a word, I done made it up, for consumption from your consumers? So when you look at a herd or look at an animal, determining what needs to be culled and what you're going to use to process. And we'll be right back after this short message.
Greetings, this is Tarika Shakir Muhammad with National Network View. This week's Final Call cover story reads, Respect and Protect the Black Woman. On the freezing night of February 21st, 2019, Chicago police raid the home of Ann Jeanette Young, leaving her nude and handcuffed after smashing down her door. Protesters gathered at police headquarters with intense anger and demand justice. The outrage and pain runs deep after another incident of foul play by police on a black woman. To read more, subscribe to finalcalldigital.com, and thank you for tuning in to NNV News. Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below, follow us on social media, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, NNV News. This is Tarika Shakir Muhammad with NNVnews.com.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App, NNV News.
And welcome back. Again, we're here with Wayne Chip Swanson of Swanson Family Farm. And right before our break, we gave him the question, what is the difference in culling and processing when he's looking at his herds?
Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more in detail on that. So a cull animal is an animal that either is trouble for your operation or that does not produce desired results. A cull animal should either be sold away from your property or should be processed. You aren't processing cull animals. So the cull animal is strictly an animal that you want out of the gene pool, or is that animal that just keeps getting out, is training other animals how to get out, or the animal that attacks you or runs at you or tries to get you. Your animals that you are raising for processing is a separate group. There are three groups. I'm going to step back. You're going to have your culls, you're going to have your feeders, and then you're going to have your foundation or your brood stock. So your brood stock are the mamas and the daddy that you have like these traits and you want to replicate those. So you're going to breed those and have the babies. Once you have the babies on the ground, you'll then determine if they will be sold for meat, added to the brood or breeding stock, or culled. So in what you have to look for your program, you have to know what your carcass is going to look like. And you have to know what you're going to be charged by weight at the processor. So for my operation, I don't want anything with long legs because the heaviest bone in the body is a femur bone, and I'm not selling femur bones. I'm selling meat. So I need my animals to have shorter legs. So I'm not being charged an extra $200 for a steer to hang because it has super long, super thick legs. So I'm also looking for loin length. I want my backs of my animals to be, we call it a top line, to be very long, because what are the number one sellers in all animals? The chops, the ribeyes, which is the same thing as lamb chops, basically. The loins, the what we call it backstrap if you hunt, or the filet mignon. So I need longer back. If the back is longer, that piece of meat is longer. And so when you go out to look at animals, you have to have had determined what your objectives are for selling that animal. Anybody can just sell meat. But to be profitable, you have to know what marquee pieces there are, how to breed for them. Now they've got scores now that can do it all for you, but that's what we look for. Cull stock, if I get an animal that, it comes out and it's a male and only has one testicle, I'm not keeping him. I'm going to get rid of him. If I get an animal that comes out is super flighty, I'm not keeping it because it's going to have a hard time putting on weight because it's stressed all the time. That's why it's flighty. It's scared or nervous. It's going to have a hard time putting on weight, and it won't convert grass to muscle because of the stress it's under. And then the last thing that you cull is the animals that cause you problems. So if you spent thousands of dollars for this fence, I can't have you jumping the fence every week and getting out and causing problems and maybe getting hit by a car, making our insurance go up, or maybe just dying on the side of the road because you get tangled up in a fence. That's thousands of dollars worth of product. You got to go. And the hard part for a lot of farmers, and some of my clients do this, they'll tell me, oh yeah, Betsy hopped out twice. Why is Betsy still here?
Right.
You tell me you run an operation. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say thank you for being nice with that, because you're talking about me. Remember,
not just you.
I remember that one year. I went home to see mom, and it was November, and I was like, somebody called, I think Brother Reg or something, and he was like, man, I think your cows are out. I was like, man, I'm in East St. Louis. So I said, hey,
yeah.
Chip said, hey, shake the bag. And it was like 3:35 p.m. So they shook the bag, got the cows back. The next day, same thing, 3:35. So I told mom, I said, hey, mom, I'm going to go drive back home. I think I called you, met me there that day. And we got back to Georgia like 3:20. 3:35, we see the cows hopping over the same fence.
Hopping.
And it was Sugar. And it still
Mama's training the baby. Yeah.
Yep. It took me 7 months to still coach Sugar.
Yeah.
So I truly understand what you mean there. So now let's talk about scale and how have you identified and been getting to work on scaling the model of Swanson Family Farm?
So as I grow in my entrepreneurial ventures, I no longer believe in the old Adam, build it and they will come. I believe in having the market and building for that market. So only way I have grown, I didn't grow because I thought I had a good idea or because I thought I could sell more product. I had demand and we marketed for the demand, but I didn't do a thing until I had the customers in hand, in the driveway, in the restaurant, or online making orders. So you're going to have to identify how you can scale. So where are you located? How close are you to markets? And I'm marketing Farmer Wayne more than I'm marketing meat. People love the story. So I can sell more because of who I am now, based off of what I do, because I put the work in to be the expert, and I have a set of skills that I've demonstrated and that have been replicated. So it's proven. So now I don't have to have all the cows at my place. Now I can find people who have more land than I do, come to them and say, hey, I have this number of years as a documented proficient expert in this field. If you'll grow these animals this way, this is the Swanson family way, this is the Swanson Family Farm brand, I'll sell them, but I'll pay you a little bit above retail so that I have access to that product when I need it. So I scaled up by getting smaller, actually. So I stopped doing all the work myself, and I basically literally farmed out raising of the animals. And I have to have a farm. So I'm never going to not be able to have a farm. So I have to be Farmer Wayne. I have to still show. So everything that we say we do, I still do. I just don't do it on a scale that I can supply restaurants and schools and then everybody across the Eastern United States, which we're getting ready to do. So those three things are important. Where's your market? Who's the expert? Who's going to do the work? Who's going to do the production? Where's the factory? And if you don't have those three things figured out, it's going to be hard for you to scale up and be successful.
Yes. And so now with that model and what you all have begun to prepare for, talk about that that plan because the East Coast is yours. Like, if you don't have Swanson Family Farms meat in your freezer on the East Coast, it's going to be a problem in a couple of days. We're going to we're going to storm your house like we see some people storming other places right now, right?
Right.
We're going straight to your freezer and we're looking at it. So tell us,
and I'm gonna walk.
Tell us that.
I'm gonna walk out with your curio cabinet.
Right. So tell us about that scale and distribution of that.
So I believe in being vertically integrated. So I want to own all facets of the business. I want to own the grass. I want to own the animal. Only thing I don't own right now is a processing plant. And when I go into these partnerships, I'm leasing these farms. So that allowed me to, to integrate vertically. And the next step in that is we just set up a logistics company. We'll have a freezer truck, and then we're going to run like a dually with a big cattle trailer, so that we can take and go once a month to the butcher a bunch of stuff, and then get it out to our distribution channels. So that it sounds simple. There's some other moving pieces to it, but that's it, man. I want to own all facets of the line. I want to be vertically integrated and linearly integrated. So that way I can start going into owning like a little lot where I'm gonna park my trucks, but then other people can pay me to park their trucks there. I'll have a big diesel tank there, so I can fill up my vehicles. But if I'm allowed, I'll sell the gas to the guys that are coming in. So that's the way my mind works, and that's what I'm looking for, and that's what we've done. And we think that in April, May, we really should be running again. You hear me say it a bunch of times. We slow down so we can speed up. I'm not really taking orders right now. We're making a move, and we think that we should be back into the marketplace in April.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make a plug for you and farmers like you. Are you aware of any upscale black meat processors on the East Coast? And if the answer is no, and someone watching this says, I have an open checkbook, Wayne, tell me what you need and what you could do with a black-owned processor.
Well, since we're on NNV, let's talk about halal meat. Immediately. And now in Georgia, I can only speak for Georgia. I can't speak for anybody, but there's nobody actually really doing halal meat from the processing. Now, I've heard about the people who play the recording, but for me, the way that I work, that's not what would happen in my facility. It will actually be a prayer. I'm actually going to, if it's not Brother Patrick, it would be somebody else. But we're actually going to know the person. I need to know that you have a good heart. I need to know that, because people are going to eat and digest this, and I can't have a scoundrel doing a prayer, or somebody that's just out for a buck. But so if we had a processing plant, we run our own stuff. I mean, we sell our own meat. I mean, we know it's not, we're not going to go crazy. We're not here. I've never done this to make money. So I'm not going to go all crazy and get 50,000 cows when I know I should only have 25 just so I can get your money. No. Pat will tell you, we will tell people, sorry, we just don't have it. Yep. We'll come around next go round, or we'll figure out how to grow, how to give us the space. But I'm not about to torture some animal and stick it in some kind of closet somewhere so I can get you a steak so I can look good. No, that's not what we do. So if we had an investor, I got a person right now who's built a processor for me. It'll be here. It's a mobile unit. I'm just going to take a look at it. It'll be here next week. He's trying to get me to keep it. And I was like, I can't. I said, maybe I can call Pat. Maybe we can put it at Pat's place. But right now, I'm in the middle of the move. But so, yeah, we if there was somebody interested, we could do it. And we got the logistics company and companies that we can run this product up and down the East Coast and go west.
Awesome. So we're going to go to our next ad. But if you're out there and you have that open checkbook, we will have Wayne's contact information on the bottom, and that mobile processing plant that will be at his house next week. It could stay here in Georgia. So please, we'll be right back. We'll be right back after this message.
National Network View was recently banned from the media platform YouTube.com. Within 12 hours, the NNV IT department quickly sprung into action with an independent service system to back NNVnews.com. The nation's news network is now streaming content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As we extend gratitude for the believers' financial support through donations, this media activism will not stop. Please continue to be a part of a force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Donate to NNV News. This is Clifton Muhammad with National Network View.
And welcome back to Engine of the Nation, right here on NNV News with our special guest today, Wayne Swanson, also known as Chip. So Chip, let's talk now about what you see in the future of Swanson Family Farm, and then talk to us about what you're doing with the schools. I'll leave it right there. What you're doing with the schools, so you can go in and tell what you do. So,
well, believe it or not, I think that my type of farming is almost obsolete unless people decide that they're okay with a little bit of a boutique price on product. It's cleaner, it's faster, but with so many people buying land this year or last year and this year, there's going to be enough people in Georgia that if they can get processing dates, they're probably going to flood the market. I think you and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. I was like, man, I think the market's going to get flooded with cheap beef and lamb. And we need to be positioned to either buy up that property when the people that jump into it a little hastily, or to provide a service, because not everybody has access to trailers and trucks. So I'm preparing for the trailers and trucks. I'm also preparing for the processor so that I can still sell my product, but I can help those who are getting into the business of taking care of their meat for their family or for the loved ones, because it's still going to need to be USDA inspected. So that's how we grow. We'll keep doing that. Also, the businesses that pop up off of farming are what we're looking at. One of them is consulting. So you can hire me to go out and do a field inspection of the land that you want to purchase for farming. We can do everything from a site visit to soil samples, to hire experts to do compression, soil testing, to get with logging companies. I have a relationship with the USDA consultants that can help you with any grants that you may be looking for. And parenthetically, let's talk about grants real quick. If you are thinking that you are going to use a grant to farm, you won't be successful. It's not possible. Don't. You have to have a business plan or a plan on how to be successful and reach markets. There is no grant that is going to help you farm. There are grants that will help you research. There are grants that will help you get some equipment, but nothing's going to pay the note on the house or on the farm like a profit. So then the other thing that we do is schools. This is a passion project of mine, not necessarily something I do to make money, but they pay me. But the amount that I make them pay me is ridiculous. So it's just
Right.
I think people don't really respect free. So I make them pay me. So if you have a school that you are, and this is particularly for me, I grew up as a Black kid who had a unabashed love for Star Wars, fishing, dogs, anything that was an animal, but I didn't find a lot of me. So had I had a school that had access to all these things like Brother Patrick's school, like DATE, the Cab Agricultural Technology and Environment School, and like a school that I'm working with now over in where are they, in Loganville, I think. I'm gonna help you out. So if you tell me that you're in agribusiness and you're going to train young men and women of color, our people, to get in the business, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to get you either a herd of sheep, a flock of chickens that's already ready to go and making money. But I need you to understand I'm giving you seeds, right? So a lot of times when this stuff happens, people get greedy. Greed is a horrible drug.
Yes.
And people don't understand I'm seeding the children, not you, brother. This is about the children. This is not about your hustle, because I can sell them and make money if this was about making money. And too many times our people are interested in the story or the narrative of helping children, but they're not willing to go without to make sure that the kids can have. That's that thing, slow down and speed up. You'll make money because people are going to want to come to your school. You'll make money because I'm going to set you up with all the relationships that I have. So if you decide to get into aquaponics, I got an aquaponics guy. I got a Home Depot connection that'll get you everything you want.
Right. Absolutely.
So I love doing that. I love going up to the school, talking to the kids. I love making sure that everything is done to a very, very, very high level. I don't think our children should have to go without. Nobody else's kids have to go without. So our children should have the best educational opportunity, props, animals to learn from, everything. And Swanson Family Farm, and how do they say, is here for all of it. We want all the smoke when it comes to these kids and getting them ready for opportunities with either the USDA. The other passion with the kids and the elementary school and the middle school is that feeds into the 1890 land grant scholarship. I'm leaning in and I'm speaking very clearly.
Excellent segue. Go ahead. Give it to him.
1890 land grant scholarship. Your money, my money, everybody in America is putting in on this scholarship. This scholarship is with the USDA. Do you have to work for the USDA? Yes, for 1 year. Do you have to make a career of it? No, absolutely not. But if you want to be a veterinarian, a forester, if you want to go into soil sciences, earth sciences, the USDA will pay for all 4 years of your school at a Jackson State, at a Fort Valley State, at a FAMU, Tennessee State, I think Lincoln up in Philly.
Kentucky State.
Yeah, right. Tennessee State, Tuskegee, because my son was going to go to Tuskegee. It's there for you, but you have to have a proven track record. You can't just decide, hey, I'm going to jump on this ag and get this scholarship, because the scholarship is competitive. And brothers, this happened to me. If I wouldn't have married my wife, I'd have been a C student my whole life. She helped the brother out. The sisters are killing us. So we got to study. We can't get the scholarship because the sisters are lined up, killing them. Grades on point, projects on point. But if you get that scholarship, you don't pay for a paperclip at college. They pay for all 4 years. If you decide to go if you decide to go for 8 years, yes, you only have to work for the USDA for 2 years. You got to give them 2 years back to pay that off, and you're done, debt free. Debt free.
Wow. So please make sure you heard that 1890 land grant scholarship. It's 1890 land grant, and one of the universities, Chip, Kentucky State University, but you can't leave off Kentucky State. For the thoroughbreds. Okay. So
and
one more.
Somebody in your comments mentioned FFA. Yes, if you have a kid at school, get them in FFA and 4-H. I don't care if they're the only spot of color in there. Get them in there.
Absolutely. So I'm a big proponent of the buy land movement. on social media. I just put up a set, buy land. And at one point,
Tell
I
them
would
about the
literally
discussions
find
we have
farms.
about it. What do I say with that? This is my brother. This is not. So I'm always saying, Pat, somebody gonna come along and do this better than us. You can't tell everybody to buy land. We're gonna get put out of work. One of these young kids is gonna come along and wipe us out.
Absolutely. So I'm always just, I literally, some days I would Google find farms and post them on Facebook like,
Yeah.
hey, it's a farm for sale here, right? But in that, there are some steps that have to be taken before you make such a commitment. And I know we do make it look easy sometimes. And one thing that I've learned from you is tell people the failures as well. So they won't have this fairy tale story that is perfect. Nothing's gonna die out here, right? I'm at a point now to where when something loses life, it's like, oh, I take care of it. It's not, and not morbid, but you experience it. Life and death travel on the same path on the farm every day. And so in that recommendation and guidance that you will get for those that may have the resources and believe they have the commitment and want to step out and purchase land, give them some guidance.
One, if you don't have outdoor experience, I would tell you, just like I would say buying a house, scale back a little bit on the number of acres that you're buying, take some of that money, hire experts. The example I got is one of my clients called me and said, hey, a guy has a 40-acre feed lot. He said a feed plot he wants to sell me. I was like, man, that sounds odd. I said, you sure he didn't say a feed lot, not plot? He said, no, I'm about to put the money in. I said, I got it. I said, no. You hired me. Chill out for a second. Let me talk to this guy. Mm-hmm. Well, the man smelled the anxiousness on this brother because they said, buy land. I'm buying land. He clear cut this land and then told the brother that it was going to be 40 acres of feed lot of some of the best land out there. When he cleared it, it would have probably taken him about half of what he paid for it just to get the land, the stumps, the trees, and everything done, so that he could, make a home, like a homestead on it. And so you've got to talk to some experts if that's not your field of expertise, and then build on it. Learn what you need to do first. A lot of people will go. Another client of mine, I was going to give them some sheep because they were good clients. And I said, okay, I'll get you some sheep. And she said, well, I'm going to put my puppies with them. I said, oh, did you get an Anatolian or Great Pyrenees? No, we got 2 Cane Corsos. So I said, look, I can tell you right now that Cane Corso is going to kill everything you got. No, it won't. I said, no, I'm telling you, I'm a dog guy with dogs. My dog killed everything. Mm-hmm. Everything. And
me too.
And I had to come to the realization that either I need to really specialize or I need to get the product for the job, the right product for the right job. And that's what I had to do. So that when you're thinking about it, do it smartly, just like you would do anything else. If you're going to replace the windows in your house, get a bunch of estimates, right? Unless you have a good mechanic, get some recommendations from people or read the reviews. The same thing with buying land. And why our people are running out wanting to buy all this raw land is beyond me. When people are selling land with fences and houses on it at the same price is beyond me. I can't understand why why we are so, it's in the mountains, it's full of granite and it's got big trees. Okay, are you a lumberjack? Because if you're not a lumberjack and you don't know how to run a bulldozer, down the street, the guy got a well, he got a pond, he got a garden already there, the fence is already up. Buy that one.
And that part right there where I was talking, someone called me, I'm getting these calls and call and say, hey man, look, I got $400,000. Okay. And I'm ready to buy a farm and it needs to have, 9 bedrooms, a 3-car garage, and I said, whoa. You want a subdivision house.
Right. Be honest with yourself, brother.
If you want to, be honest. If you want a farm, You want to find an established older farm because 60 to 70% of the infrastructure is going to already be up there.
Already
You can
there.
enhance it. Anybody can throw sheetrock, but you'll have people now that they haven't removed the falseness and then of the facade of these homes they built in the weekend. And as you and I talked about, I slept through the tornado that hit 200 yards on my property, right? Slept right through it. But it tore up the subdivision half a mile away. So just give a little more guidance and wisdom behind.
So I'm gonna answer that question and answer a question to somebody online. Brother that says that he's gonna get a blue blood bulldog, right? They call them old Southern whites or Appalapa or alfalfa. I can't remember the name of it. No, they're gonna kill everything on your property. When you watch these YouTube videos, they never have the dog off the lead. Why? The dog is not, it's a catch dog. Now, if you want to do a dog that can be more than a Great Pyrenees, start looking for what we call a cur dog.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do a cur dog, a leopard dog, a blackmouth cur. Right, you may have them with your livestock. They're not living with the livestock 24/7. If they are living with the livestock 24/7 and you can go away for 2 or 3 days and nothing happens, then I need to come see you because I want to breed my dog to one of your dogs. But just being in that, I know that you can't leave those dogs like you can leave a Great Pyrenees. You can't put 3 days worth of food out, leave, come back, and your dog's going to be sitting in the same spot. I got pressers. I breed pressers. And I have bred for the last 15 years to get to an anomaly dog. I've had two dogs that I could leave on the farm without having to tie them up for days on end. Everything else is going to eventually kill stuff.
And go away and say, hey, Pat, just check on the farm.
Yeah.
But the dogs all I had to do was ride by and make sure the dogs were good, but everything should be good.
Dogs got everything.
They got everything. Go ahead and share with the viewing audience, Jess, all of your contact information. How can they reach you for consultation, etc.?
Sure. All social media, Swanson Family Farm. That's Facebook. That's Instagram. You can Google me, Swanson Family Farm. Website swansonfamilyfarmllc.com. You can put a comment on there. You can put an email through there. For whatever reason, when I'm in areas where the phone doesn't work, Facebook always works. So Facebook message me is the best way to reach me. I get that notification faster than I get anything. And I'll come out and we can help you get on it. And I want to have a conversation with the brother who's saying that he's now breeding Borbals and they with his livestock. Yeah. So that's gonna be a good conversation.
You know what we have to do? We're gonna have to do another show on livestock dogs.
Yes.
And just really
on dogs. Black people love dogs. We love dogs, man. We love our big, strong. Yeah.
We'll do a show because someone said, brother, I'm gonna bring a dogo to your farm. I said, don't even come down my road.
No, he can bring the dogo if we are going to catch something. Because if that dogo doesn't have a dog where a job where he's catching something, he's gonna tear everything up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one thing, like with the Great Pyrenees, like I'm a Great Pyrenees man. So I lost a sheep for whatever reason a couple of weeks ago. And my Great Pyrenees protect and live with the livestock, right?
Tell him what my presser would do with that dead sheep. He's gonna eat it.
He's gonna eat it, right? So my Great Pyrenees stayed with the body so long that the coyotes couldn't come get it. The turkey vultures couldn't come get it. And when she did go away and the turkey vultures tried to come, she ran them away because her job was to stay with the livestock, life or death. It wasn't until I went to her and say, it's okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move it now. Did she relieved from that duty. So we really we have to come back and bring you back.
Yeah, that's going to be a great show, man. Great show. And we got videos. And tell the brother, it's all videos. Tell him to go ahead and send me the videos. We don't even talk about pictures. We need videos.
Yeah, we need video. We need action shots.
We need action.
Well, look, we need action. So I know I've held you again because, when you're talking to your best friend, it's easy to go on and on.
Man, this ain't even work, brother.
Again,
this ain't even work.
This ain't even work. It ain't even work. So to our viewing audience, thank you for joining in to Engine of the Nation. We look forward to having you back soon. Remember, farming and animal husbandry are the first professions. And we know that from the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we will be successful. We thank you for tuning in to NNV News. Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Follow us on social media and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, NNV News. This is Patrick Muhammad signing off from Engine of the Nation. Take care.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.